today we're going to talk about manual chairs, which are probably the easiest of the chairs that we've shown you guys, but I know the rigid frames are a little bit different in how they break down for car transport, so we wanted to show you guys that if people have like day passes and things like that. Although we should be showing them that before they go on their day pass if they forget, or if for some reason it was a quick day pass and no one showed them, you might be able to help. And then this is a folding frame chair, but it has the rigid back, so we want to show you how that comes on and off. All the backs are different, but they all have fairly easy triggers where you can see. If you want to see different backrests, feel free to come down to the green room at any time and mess around with them, but I did bring one example of that. So I'll do this one first because it's a little bit easier, or I should say more familiar. So for this backrest, there's just 2 push buttons on each side where you push and pull back. And then the backrest just so easily pops out. And then they are going to have a cushion, so you want to pull that off too. And then the leg rests, you can either flip up the foot plates or pop them off. It's easier to just pop them off for loading it in the car because then the chair isn't as long. But if they don't want to, or they have a giant truck or something, they don't have to. You just have to put the foot plates up. And then most of them have a strap on the seat that you can just pull up on our chair, so that makes it a little bit easier than having to pull on the sides. And then when they get to their destination, or when they are coming back to Dodd, when you're opening the chairs, you just want to be really careful that you're watching the fingers, that they're not going underneath, because we don't want any pinched fingers. So you'll hear it lock into place. I also recommend keeping the seat belt buckled when you're folding it, because what happens is it falls down, gets in the wheels, and then that just takes a little more time when you're getting it ready. But then once you have it unfolded, you can undo the seat belt and they can sit down. And then all the backrests, you'll see the shape that goes in the channel, just like a puzzle piece. Our chairs, I will say, since we kind of Frankenstein them together as far as the backrests and the cushions and things, take a little bit more maneuvering to get it in, but then once it's in, just lock it back. And I always do a little wiggle just to make sure before the person gets back in. Throw the cushion on and then put the leg rest back on. The other thing with, I think most of our manual chairs downstairs, which I think you guys might know, which is nice for the bathroom or tight spaces, is the leg rests not only swing out, but they swing in. So if you flip the foot plates up and you're like right next to the bed and you don't want to go back out and put the leg rest out, you can actually flip it in under the chair. The patient will just have to watch their legs so it doesn't get hit, but you can do it on both sides if you need to. But that's really helpful if you're in a tight spot or need to get it out of the way but don't have room to flip it outwards. And all of our chairs have the tippy bars in the back. If you notice somebody's really tippy and you feel like they're not catching, please let us know, especially our taller population. We've been having a lot of amputees, so they have less weight in the front, so they tend to be a little tippier. But if they have like oxygen tanks on the back, that makes them really tippy, or a lot of stuff in their bag. So all of ours have the tippy bars, but if you think it looks unsafe, let us know, because things always slip through the cracks. So
this chair is a little different, but it deconstructs in just as many parts and you can get it into a car. So the only difference about this chair is the backrest. All of the rigid back frames will have some type of pulley system, whether it's a bar or like a piece of fabric or something. So you can just push it up and then the backrest will go down. This chair has new armrests, so this chair you would have to take the armrest off. There's just a little click. They come right out. And then you can rip that, and the backrest will go down flat.
And it should lock.
I think the seatbelt might be in the way.
There, if you get mine. Anyways, it should lock down so that they could essentially lift up on that bar to load it into the car.
So because this one doesn't fold up, if you want to make it, and the footrest doesn't move, if you want to make it smaller to get into the car, all of our chairs have quick release tires. So you'll just have to make sure that the brakes are off, the middle button comes out, and then you can put these individually in the car. And then the rigid frame has a bit of a smaller profile. You can also flip these up, and then that can easily fit into the
If it doesn't have
trunk.
the flip up style, it'll have this style, which just has the push button to push and then pull out if you need to fit it in the car.
So they get pretty small.
Yeah.
This one just, the foot plate, you won't be able to do anything with that. So
Yeah.
then again, to take it off, you just put these back down, it's too far. The tires go in the same way, you just have to give them a little bit of a tug, lift up on the chair, push up on the middle button. They fit in, they should click. And then just give them a little pull out to make sure that they are locked into place.
And make sure, you guys saw Erin, you have to undo the brakes to get the wheels off.
Yeah, get the tires
Which
back
seems
into
obvious, but I've been there pulling on it, like, why is this wheel coming off?
So again, push in the button. Put your arm. And they pop into place. This is our only chair with these special brakes. All of our other chairs have the push to lock. I don't think we have any pull to lock.
I don't think we do.
Brakes, these are special kind of brakes, they're scissor brakes. So all you do to lock them is just push them out, and then unlocking them might be a little difficult, just watch your fingers. Then they just pull back in. And they're just tucked under the chair.
But same thing with the brakes, if you guys see like a brake's coming loose or a chair slipping during a transfer, just let us know, because we don't see everything, so that way we can get a look. You guys have any questions, or does anyone wanna come up and put any hands on the chairs?
Might be a silly question, but are those wheels interchangeable? Like, is there like a right leg and a left?
Oh yeah, no, you
wheel?
can put them on either side.
Interchangeable.
It's just within brands of wheelchairs, you can't really switch them.
Okay.
But within that
chair,
same
the
chair, it doesn't
difference.
matter which side you put on.
And I do have another question. That chair, even though the back seat folds forward, doesn't lean back any?
I don't think this one does.
Do some of them do.
But this one doesn't. It's got a locking system on the back.
With
But I think you might be able
tools,
to-
you can adjust the angle of the backrest, but with that one, I don't think it does. Some of the other Tylites I feel like do have an adjustment. So if you like open it up and it seems like they're like this, try to see if you can click it back.
So basically, first you need to figure out what you're doing with the back before you know what you're doing with that wheelchair. You
Yeah,
have to know
and
if
then
it,
just
like,
looking
folds
at the
forward.
wheelchair, if it has like the cross brace
Yeah.
under the bottom, you'll know it's a folding. If it's just one mono frame, you'll know it's a rigid.
And even though that just has a tension backrest on it, if it had one of these, you can still fold it down. So even, since it doesn't fold this way, you don't have to take the rigid backrest off this one. You could just fold it down like Erin showed with that backrest.
So the backrests are interchangeable with the chairs?
Kind of.
Yeah,
We
with
just have
hardware.
to have the hardware on that one.
So you could put a rigid back frame on this chair and still just fold it flat down. It wouldn't have to come off like it would that chair.
Cool. Thanks, guys.